Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry It's True podcast. Welcome to the house of and shout out to the members.
So the Ksoo trial finally came to a close. What was that, about a week or two? Right? The jury deliberated today. He was found guilty of murder. Let's take a look at the initial news reports. We got a bunch of footage to go through after this as well. Hang back.
2 gang members found guilty in the murder of Charles McCormick. Thank you for joining us. I'm Heather Crawford.
And I'm Anthony Austin. In the last hour, jury finding Hakeem Robinson, known as Ksoo, guilty for first-degree murder. Take a look at this picture showing Ksoo actually reacting to the verdict. You can see him sitting next to his attorney, his head in his hands there. Another jury found Leroy Whitaker, also known as TK Scotty, guilty for first-degree murder earlier this afternoon. The victim, Charles McCormick, shot and killed at a Merrill Road shopping plaza back in 2020.
Whitaker's dad reacting to the verdict moments after it came down today.
It hurt, but we're going to get through.
And our Zach Wilcox has been in the courtroom all day. He's joining us live now.
Zach?
Yeah, Heather, we just got that verdict that came down within the past hour. As you mentioned, we tried to talk with Charles McCormick's family, but they were actually escorted out of the courtroom, away from the media. Prosecutors and the defense attorneys, neither one willing to give us a comment at this point, at least on camera. But we did talk with Whitaker's father right after he heard the verdict earlier this afternoon about his son being found guilty, and he walked us through what it felt like in that moment.
I feel like a fire truck just ran into me, man, and backed up, put it back in drive, and ran over me again.
Leroy Whitaker Sr. says he could feel which direction the trial against his son was going, but that didn't make the verdict any easier.
I mean, the verdict's going to always be the verdict that the prosecution wants, you know, just biased, you know, not fair, you know, right from the start. That's what I like. Fairness.
The jury's decision came after prosecution felt it showed enough DNA evidence, cell phone records, social media posts, and fingerprints to prove he was guilty. Co-defendant Hakeem Robinson, a.k.a. Ksoo's father, also took the stand and told the jury he recognized his son in the video, picked Whitaker up after the crime, and helped him burn his clothes. Whitaker Sr. says the next move for the family is to head to L.A. to get the best attorneys they can for an appeal.
I'm not giving up on him. You know, he's not going to be someone that's just in prison by himself. I'm there with him, and I'm going to continue to be there with him.
And sentencing is scheduled for both of these co-defendants next month. In downtown, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.
Wow. I mean, even the father of ATK Scotty said he could feel during the trial the direction that everything was going. He felt a guilty verdict coming. I mean, we all did, right? But to actually hear it come down, it's like it's got to be like a whole different ball game in that courtroom. Let's take a look at some footage now of the judge actually reading the verdict that came out of deliberation from the jury. Let's bring that one up. Oh, nasty, nasty, nasty.
All right, the court finds that there are no errors or omissions in the filling out of the verdict form. Madam Clerk, can you please publish the verdict?
In the circuit of the 4th Judicial Circuit in and for Duval County, Florida, case number 16, 2020, CF 3601B, Division CRE. State of Florida versus Hakeem Robinson, verdict as to count 1. We, the jury, found the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. So say we all, done, Jacksonville, Duval County, Florida, signed by the foreperson on July 31st, 2025.
Does counsel for either the state or defense desire the jury to be polled?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Madam Clerk, if you can please poll each juror.
Juror 1, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 2, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 3, is this your true and correct verdict? Yes. Juror 4, is this your true and correct verdict? Yes. Juror 5, is this your true and correct verdict? Yes. Juror 6, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 7, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 8, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 9, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 10, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 11, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror 12, is this your true and correct verdict? Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time and your consideration of this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges to be enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in that jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for the consideration of difficult cases. And we have recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations, their discussion.
I understand the judge thanking them. I don't think that they had a tough time back then, deliberation, to be honest. I think they always just like, yeah, we out of here one day. We're not coming back tomorrow. What do you got? Guilty? They went through all 12 and they all say, yep, guilty, guilty, guilty. And as I was watching social media, it was about like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. The verdict for ATK Scotty came out as guilty. I mean, if you're Ksoo and you back in the holding cells and word comes back to you, hey, by the way, your co-defendant just got found guilty. What do you think? Like, oh, I got a shot here. Like ATK Scotty got found guilty, and then everybody knew at this point, yeah, Ksoo was up next, found guilty of first-degree murder. Wow. Let's take a look at a little bit more footage now. This is Ksoo coming up to the judge's response as he's now being told about his upcoming sentencing, etc.
All right, Mr. Robinson, based on the verdict of the jury finding you guilty of the offense charged in the indictment in case number 2020 CF 3601, the court does hereby remand you to the custody of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, and your bond in this matter shall be revoked. Now, he is entitled to a pre-sentence investigation report. Is that correct? Okay, then I will be sure to order one. Again, that takes approximately 30 days to complete, so we'll need to come back for sentencing no earlier than 30 days. When would the parties wish to return? I have the week of August 25 or September 2 for sentencing to be set. The same week as Mr. Whitaker? Okay, are y'all available to return the week of September 8th? Keep in mind, Monday would be a to be set date, and we would set the sentencing on a convenient day that week for all parties involved.
I'm sure I can have, if they're going to have scheduling.
Okay, and on the 8th, you all are free to appear via Zoom. That's just a scheduling date. That won't be the sentencing date. We'll pick a date on the 8th. All right, then we'll pass Mr. Robinson's case to September 8th for sentencing to be set. All right, thank you.
Yeah, some of his body language there definitely looked like fuck. And then look at when he's seated and the verdict actually comes down. Take a look at this footage here. This is referenced in the thumbnail of this video. Look at his lawyer. Why is his lawyer sitting there with his eyes closed? Like he's praying or he knows it's about to happen too. Don't try to act like this is affecting you, buddy. You knew what the fuck was going on. You've been doing this long enough, right? Oh, man. Look at Ksoo. Look at Ksoo face. Lawyer puts his head down. Look at Ksoo. Ksoo looked at his lawyer. So it's just like, yo, if this nigga got his head in his hand, what you think is about to happen to me? Ksoo looked at his lawyer and said, what the? Wow. Wow. At this point, he's hearing the verdict coming in and the jurors. Oh, man. Was he looking over? Is that the jury seated over there where he's looking? Oh, man. He's shaking his head no. He's got to be looking at the jurors at this point. He's watching them go 1 through 12. Saying, yep, this is my verdict. Yep, this is my verdict. Yep, this is my verdict.
Today, but I hear something.
He's shaking his head. Damn. See, he just cursed. He said, damn.
Is it done?
It's done. Yeah. Hand over his face.
I think it's done.
It is, buddy.
Yeah, they might have been.
Oh, man, look at him.
Right. I got
Glasses off. Punches himself in the head a little bit. He biting on his glasses. Damn. His whole life is flashing. Look at him staring in space right now. It's just everything flashing in front of him. He's chewing on his glasses. Oh, man, look at him. Shaking his head, head in his hands. He's staying semi-contained. He held his composure enough, it looked like. I mean, them glasses, he could have took them shits off a long time ago. I'd never seen him in any pictures on his social media or in any videos wearing glasses or nothing. The glasses is a court thing, okay? It's no different than people wearing that don't normally wear glasses, putting them on for interviews. It makes you look more collegiate, makes you look a little bit safer. It's a courtroom costume, to be honest, right? Everybody wears glass. Well, a lot of people put on glasses for court, you know, but before I got some more footage to go through, but before we do that real quick, just for the sake of argument, this is all in Florida, right? In Florida, how much time does being convicted of first degree murder normally carry? Let's see. In Florida, conviction of first degree murder is one of the most serious charges a person can face, of course. Typically carries one of the following mandatory sentences: penalties of first degree in Florida, life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. This is the most common sentence for adults convicted of first degree. Death penalty. Florida is one of the few states that still allows the death penalty. It requires a unanimous jury recommendation, or under recent law changes, at least 8 to 12 jurors to agree. I honestly don't see that. The jury, probably looks at this as just another ghetto crime, another street crime, just gangs that's into it, and they, rap wars and drill music and them killing each other. I never even heard the mentioning of death penalty for Ksoo this whole time, right? We heard it in Rodney Hinton Jr.'s case, that it's being discussed. It's up for discussion. It's a possibility, right? In his case, like I want to feel like if you're in a death penalty state and there's children involved or police officers involved and things of that nature, maybe would have heard it. But first degree in Florida is defined as premeditated. That was obviously established during the trial. The lling and finding out this guy's address, and then suiting up, getting a stolen car, pulling up, conducting the hit, and all of this type of stuff. It wasn't some spur of the moment, we bumped into each other, had an argument, and guns came out. It's a premeditated situation. Next, a killing committed during the course of a serious felony. Yeah, so it's saying 1 and 1 there. It is classified as a capital felony, the most serious level of felony to the state. Parole is not an option for adults convicted of first degree unless they were under 18 at the time of the offense, in which case a 25-year review might apply. So this says a mandatory life. No parole. No parole eligibility. That's, you will spend the rest of your life in prison. That's what they got him as. Wow, first degree convicted. And of course, we expect the same for ATK Scotty. And for the first time today, I saw this going around social media. This is footage of ATK Scotty in the box when faced by detectives, going through questions about the situation at hand. What did he say?
If you can't carry it through like this, young man, retire today.
All right, man. I'll put it to you this way. I know you didn't shoot anybody that day. I know you weren't driving the car that day. I'll tell you that right now.
They be so
now,
full of
he's
shit.
being nice and he's not playing with you. He has enough just without you not to say shit to put you away for who knows how long. We know you're there in more ways than one. So he's literally trying to give you like a lifeline right here, and you literally just kind of spit in his face. So it's literally your best chance to tell him what you know or tell your side of the story.
Right.
What story are we talking about?
What story?
So you didn't do it, you weren't there, and you don't know nothing about that. That's what you want to go with. All right, well, bro, let's do this. Hang on, shit's tight like this. Down. Right there.
That's really it there. When in custody, When faced with detectives and a line of questioning, ATK Scotty said, "What story? I don't know what y'all talking about. What story y'all talking? I don't know what's going on." That's what he did, right? Amazing how the footage of these interrogations always comes out with the detectives trying to act like they're helping you somehow. Let's get your side of the story is an extremely common attack and approach. Your side of the story. Really what that is AKA confession. What do you mean? And if you want to act innocent, right, then you don't even put yourself there. You don't put yourself there. You don't put yourself and I mean, even if you're going to answer a single question at all, whether it's really supposed to be alongside your lawyer, but you know, there are times when people still want to talk, even if they're not giving up anything. And I understand that, you know, like you don't have to have a lawyer present there with you to say, I don't know what y'all talking about, or I didn't do nothing, or I don't know who was there. Like, you don't need a lawyer for that, right? If you're going to stand like that. So these detectives, man, I swear to God, now's your chance, man. You know, were you upset? You know, and if you tell us your side of the story, we might could help you out. And then you think what you're gonna at that point say, yeah, well, it was all an accident. No, that's an admission of guilt. Got him guilty. Got him. Trial for what? Sign this paperwork right here, and we're done. No, these detectives, man, some are good. I've seen some real clever detectives in there, and some of them are so fucking obvious. It's like, really, nigga, you here to help me? Really, nigga? It's like, who the fuck you think you're talking to? But speaking of old footage coming back up now on social media and going viral once again, Fulio, he rapped about it. They rapped about Ksoo's father in the past of him telling because he told prior to this. This was Fulio's lyrics.
Blue telling in that jail. Can't so many benefits. Don't wish jail on nobody. I swear they need to free that man. So
he said, Blue telling on everybody. Fulio exposed Ksoo's dad as a snitch in the See You video all the way back then. Blue telling in jail or in a jam.
You're cooperating in this case, correct, sir?
Correct.
This is not your first cooperation, is it?
No.
You've somewhat made a career out of it, have you not?
I wouldn't say career.
Well, you first testified against an officer, Officer Eric Sinclair, back in...
Relevance.
Overruled. Back in 1999, right?
Did I do what?
Testified against Officer Eric Sinclair back in 1999.
No, I didn't.
Came forward with information.
Yeah.
The officer evidently didn't take it to trial, correct?
Correct.
But your cooperation, your testifying to the federal government caused him to enter a plea, right?
I'm not going to agree with that.
Whether you agree or not. And the lawyer there, the prosecutor, said what I say up here on this channel all the fucking time. He said, first he said, testify. He said, nope. Does that make you not a snitch? Then the lawyer followed up with, all right, you didn't testify, but you gave information, right? That was then used to prosecute the officer, and the officer ended up taking a plea deal. And the caption here says he's been telling since the 90s, right? But when it came up in the past, whether it was from Fulio's lyrics or just the streets talking, this is what Blue was saying, right? Another video that came out later on.
I want you to know this here. They gonna tell you, see, this nigga blew this nigga blew that, this nigga blew told on this nigga blew did this here. Challenge them niggas, and you bet your bottom dollar on it. If Blue told on Elm Street nigga out here, go tell that street nigga to bring his paperwork and show you with Blue name on it and Blue put him in jail. One. I mean, bring one. Yeah,
Oh, wait. Did he disguise it by saying, bring the paperwork that I put one street nigga in jail? But remember, telling is telling, right? That's what they got Frank Lucas for. You saw that at the end of American Gangster, right? You can't say I'm not telling because I told on police. You have corrupt police and they're just as dirty as you. And if they're in cahoots with you, or if they're letting you go, or you're working with them, or y'all dealing drugs together, or they're taking drugs out of evidence and bringing it to the street and you selling it, and then y'all both get bagged up and then you tell on police, there's no like, oh, but I told on cops. No, you snitching is snitching. You got caught while you was doing some dirty shit or some street shit or some gangster shit, and then you cooperated with authorities. So he said, no street niggas. All right, but you told on police. They was just saying that, and that cop ended up putting in a plea deal. And you can see this is a much younger, Blue. You look at his beard when he was on trial just now this week in the case. It's all gray, and he looks way older now. So if he's been telling since the 90s, he's been telling since the 90s. Last but not least, man, they're saying that this is a video of Ksoo when he first found out that his father was cooperating.
Damn, God. Oh, what the fuck? Aggravated, bro. Aggravated, dog. There's no way in the world. It's no way. No way in the world. It's no way in the world. Fuck no. There's no way in the world, dog. There's no way in the world, dog. There's no way in the world, but I can't. They gonna do what they want to do. There's no way in the world, dog. There's no way in the world. Anyway, boy. Don't do this shit too much, dog. Jacksonville, evil as hell. Damn, God.
So what's so bugged out about that footage is, how the detectives be playing. They use time. They use the gaps of time. They play a very strong game with people, man. Very psychological game. They'll tell you something and then they'll leave for an hour or two and let it sit with you. Let your mind wander. They'll come and they'll say shit like, hey, we just got some evidence in. You want to talk to us? No? All right. We'll be back. And then you got to sit there and think like, damn, what kind of evidence could they have? Was there cameras there? Was there cameras not or whatever? And you can see they're tactically doing that here with Ksoo after they came in and told him allegedly in this clip about his father, because the camera keeps panning around. So they left, they went to the cameras, they're zooming in at times and shit. Yeah, they'll fucking come in. Oh, by the way, your father Blue. Probably even know that he told before, right? So he's got it in him. Yeah, he's going to be cooperating in this case. Just wanted to let you know that. You want to talk to us yet? No? All right, we'll be back in a couple hours. And then go to the cameras and watch his fucking reaction. Damn, dog, damn. The niggas just watching like, he is so guilty. We just need the prosecution and these fucking lawyers to do the right thing now and drive it home. Because the detectives obviously put it all together, So I'll close out like this, man. I'm not the guy that's going to just throw sympathy his way or anything like that. You guys out here taking lives. Life is too precious. I don't play that game. I don't do it. Oh, man, free. That ain't me. That ain't me. To see the videos of when the verdict came down and you was listening to the jurors read, and you got your hands in your head, and clips like that when he's in the box finding out different things about the case developments and his body language in front of the judge. When you go back and we watch like the Trap Lord Ross, Jacksonville documentary, and we see all the shootings, all the killings, all this, what happened on Ace's side, a young and Ace's side, what happened on Julio's side, their parents getting shot at, mothers getting shot at, brothers and cousins getting killed, the videos, the taunting, kill a nigga and get my feet done, the mixtape covers with deceased people that you allegedly was linked to, your gang was tied to, of killing, and how their parents had to see that and mourn and watch you guys pester some of these deceased people on Instagram. Fuck them. Ha, you dead. Waving goodbye. I can keep going. It makes me want to go watch the Trap Lord Ross documentary all the way over again. The type of shit that you guys was involved in, we're not supposed to shed a tear for a conviction like this, because there's also innocent lives that are impacted. I don't care if it's the young brothers, the young sisters, the mothers, the fathers, the children. Some of y'all got kids that you had to leave behind in the midst of this literal urban war. This ain't no just little back and forth beef. These are all out wars. Okay? All out wars, street urban wars. So if you're tearing the streets up like that and you got this whole demon reputation, I'm not going to shed a tear for you when they got you in there and it's now time to put your head in your hands and all that, because that's the life you chose to live, man. So it's over for them. And we'll follow up with sentencing, but I expect life, to be honest. It is what it is.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I drop it, connected to block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun.